Orange team.
Hey guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Bob.
And I'm Dan.
And this is Board Game Rundown. Today we are going to review 13 Clues from DV Games. This plays 2 to 6 players in about 30 minutes. That's probably right. If it takes longer than 30 minutes, you need to kick Spencer and tell him to just
pick something.
ask
Ask a question. Or look at one of these cards.
Yeah, just do something.
Yeah.
But anyways, this is a deduction game, kind of like Clue or something like
Very
that.
Clue-esque.
But you are going to be trying to guess the cards that are out in front of your player screen. And you have 2 cards that are hidden inside your player screen. So that gives you more knowledge, right? And you know the cards, right? You can see all the other people's
Everybody
cards.
else's cards.
You know,
Right.
that they've
So in
got
a
out
3-player
front.
game, you start with knowing 8 cards.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, so you're going to ask for clues. You're going to have a magnifying glass, which you can either give to a person and ask them what they see. You can ask them either category or suit.
Yep.
So suit would be a color, and it's all laid out here on the player sheet.
Yeah, those are pretty nice.
You got the pad. The pads are over there. Okay, you can see Bob.
played on one.
Yeah, so you can see the player sheet. So vertically, that's a category, and then or you can ask like a type. So like an indoor location or a female. How many females do you see? Yep. So you can ask somebody how many they see, or you could spend a magnifying glass and look at a card. It is possible to end up with more than one magnifying glass, and you could do that to do multiple things.
Yep.
Or you could spend all of your magnifying glasses and try to solve the puzzle that's in front of you.
Right. Well, you always have to spend all of them.
Yeah, you always spend them all.
but you can't ask a question and then
solve.
Right.
and then solve. You have to spend all of them to
It
solve.
takes your whole turn.
Right,
basically,
but you
right.
do need to spend every magnifying glass on your turn, which is never a problem.
Never a
'Cause
problem.
You always want to get as
Never a
much.
problem.
You always want to get as much information as possible. And basically, I mean, that's it. You go around and if you guess, you're not out if you guess wrong,
Right.
because they just say yes or no.
Yep.
You're either correct, you win, or no. Back to the drawing board.
Right. You just don't get any information for that turn.
Yeah, and you really don't, because
Well, you get a little
You
bit.
get some, and
Well, you
other
know-
people can get some from that as well.
Sure. Except
Yeah,
Tim's
yeah.
bluff didn't work.
yeah, my bluff didn't work, but I
It was
bluffed
too late.
I bluffed a round too late.
Too
Too blave. But it was fun. Anyways, the and that's I mean I think
gist
that's
of
it.
the game.
All right, we
Yeah.
covered it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's people, locations, and weapons, just like Clue.
Yep.
These cards are all randomly done after we get our cards, and then
Mm-hmm.
you can look at these and be like, oh, I know something and stuff, right? And you're obviously marking that off.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to you to figure out how you're going to keep notes on your board. There's
Yep.
a little spot for notes, but really just whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever's
Cross
best
stuff
for you.
off. Yeah, whatever method works for you and helps
Right.
you keep track of stuff. But yeah, I mean that's really it. Do we want to get into components?
Okay.
All right, so components.
They're really good.
They're good.
Yeah.
For like a little Clue game.
Yeah.
You know, like
This
these
thing is
these
awesome.
things are awesome.
I really like this.
Yeah, the way that you just
Slide
slide your
in.
cards right in there is perfect.
Well, and Bob showed, I don't know if it shows it in the rule book. I don't care. I'm just giving him credit right now. So obviously you put these 3. So I have these 5 cards at the start of the game.
Yep.
And I choose 3, has to be person, place, and thing, I'll just say. You know what I'm saying? And I put them in the person to my left's thing. So I put them in Bob's, but then I put these 2 cards, the 2 left cards that are left here. But so that people don't see things, right? You put the 2 cards here, and then this folds over
Hides
and
them.
perfectly hides the cards so that I can then hand this, or that he can hand it to me, sorry, and then I can put my cards in and hand it back like this. He can put it out in front of him. That works really
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, whether it was an accident or 100% intentional, like it's great.
Yeah,
it's good
that is
design.
very
It's really-
smart.
It's really good design.
I
I think the artwork is fine, like really
Yeah,
solid.
I
that's
like
not bad
it.
at all.
It's
Nice
that
colors.
Renaissance art looking kind of thing.
Some cards over here.
Bob had some struggles with the actual colors themselves, but everything is labeled. Oh, that's hilarious.
Nah, that's the cool like
The
see-through
cool
card.
phantom
Yeah.
sword.
but
like
everything is labeled.
everything is labeled, and I mean a little bit more diligence, and I would have noticed that the dancer is in fact orange and not yellow. But when I first glanced at it, I looked at it and it looked yellow to me, so it really threw me off with the question that I asked. They are clearly labeled on here, so it's mostly player error, I suppose, and that's just kind of the problem that you run into when you're colorblind and you play a game with like 6 different colors in it.
Right.
Sure.
There's going to be
Anything
some
that's like that,
similarities.
yeah.
So
We even found a little
Oh,
error
yeah.
on a
Oh, yeah.
card,
One
thanks
slight
to
error.
Tim here.
So
That was-
here's pistol.
here's the pistol.
It's labeled pistol right there.
Right there.
Right there. Super cool. It's a pistol.
Or-
But on your player board, it says gun. So if you say,
Something about the pistol, like,
Yeah.
oh, well, you must be reading it off of the card.
right,
Maybe not. It could just be like do you have the shotgun or rifle, whatever. But,
right. Well, it really only came into play because
Just
I
the one
tried to
time.
bluff Dan,
Yeah.
and I used the cards that were behind my screen.
Right.
And the one that I knew Dan was keying in on.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it didn't work.
Didn't work.
But none of us caught on to the fact that you
No,
said
nobody
pistol.
caught it.
No, wait,
I said
after
it.
the fact.
What's funny is I saw the difference and I was like, "Don't say pistol." And then when it came out, it just was
Pistol.
like, "Pistol." Damn it! Just play it cool. Play it cool.
Nobody noticed.
Not the end of the world. Didn't
No.
break any game or
Nah.
anything. Just like a funny little detail. Hey,
Yep.
probably somewhere in the translation or something.
Right.
Whatever.
The cards are not linen, but they do feel pretty nice.
They don't get overly
Yeah, you're not really
handled.
shuffling.
Yeah,
them, so-
exactly. I mean, you'll want to be careful not to, because if you get a bent in the Countess, everyone will know what the
That's
Countess
the
is. So you do
Countess.
have to be careful.
Sure.
So, like, maybe you could sleeve them just so that you make sure there's no scratches or anything on any of the
Right.
cards.
It
you
had
know?
to be a perfect fit sleeve though, because it is
that's true.
tight inside of here.
That's true.
So,
Oh yeah, that is
So
true.
that'd be the right exact size sleeve for it though.
Right. But yeah, though, I mean, they give you 8 billion score pads. They're not double sided, which was upsetting to Bob.
Little bit,
but
hey,
they
does
they are nice. These pencils worked fantastically, even the erasers, which is not very often.
Well,
Right.
I will say that if I play the game 8,000 times, I will ask them kindly to send me a new score pad.
oh,
Or
sure.
save the last 6 and
And
laminate them.
Photocopy 'em.
Yeah.
Or laminate them. Oh, yeah.
Save
then-
1 to photocopy or 6 to laminate.
Right.
Yep.
You could dry erase.
Yeah, dry
You could
erase on it. That's
I
fine.
I laminate everything.
Yeah.
does.
I would
Laminating
almost
things.
even like.
He had a dog until he laminated.
Yeah, he laminated it, and now it's
Turns
waterproof.
out, airtight.
But
Now
you
he's a taxidermist.
yeah, you could photocopy it and enlarge it a little bit, and then
That's
laminate
true.
it. Give it a
I
little bit
mean,
more
as
room
long
for
as it
notes
still fits on
behind the
this,
screen. Yeah, there's a little bit more room.
Oh yeah,
Fits.
again, very nicely. I
good
have
size
nothing
screen.
but
Yeah.
positives to talk about this screen. It's
Yeah.
so
Well, the
nice.
pencils
super
are
cool.
too white. That's my.
well, and it's
complaint
kinda long.
about the about the components. No, there's no complaints about the components.
Nice little player aid. Didn't really need
even
it,
know I had
but
one.
It was nice.
Because the rule book,
Yeah, the rule paper.
that's it. That's it. 1 page.
And it looks like it's a dual well, right? For the insert.
Yep.
Yep.
So nothing fancy, but also I for this game I wouldn't ask for more.
You don't need much.
Don't need much more. That's all.
Don't need much.
So yeah.
I mean,
that's-
this took 3
We played-
minutes.
we
3
played-
minutes to learn. We played twice in a half an hour.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
If that,
If
right?
that.
First game was learning, and then yeah.
Sorry, I'll slow down next time.
Oh, Dan's so smart.
Dan's too
yeah,
good at deduction games.
definitely needed like 3 more
It's
turns.
definitely his wheelhouse there.
I definitely needed 3 more turns. All right, let's go into final thoughts.
Final thought.
Daniel,
That's me.
what's your final thoughts, sir? Your last thought you're ever gonna have.
Make it
I
count.
should have waited.
Oh.
I thoroughly enjoyed this game. I like deduction games, like Bob said, but also I like that this takes Clue and it shortens it, it streamlines it, it adds some really interesting things to it with the 5-card system. It almost adds, I was thinking about this when we were playing, and I really liked it. It takes the whole idea of Conclusio or Hanabi.
Yeah, I
was
thought about
gonna,
that too.
I was gonna compare it to that.
I
yeah.
love Conclusio. The whole you're trying to guess the card like not facing you in your hand, and then this whole thing is I can see these cards and all the cards that are out there, but I need to find out what these 3 are. And obviously researching that and stuff like that. I really like that not facing you type of deduction, and in Hanabi and Conclusio, and adding that to Clue here, I thought was a big boon for
Adding
the type
it to
of
13
system.
clues?
Well, you're right. Adding it to Clue, making it 13 clues,
Got
right?
it.
Yeah, I don't know honestly what else to say. I thought that if you like Clue or if you like lighter deduction games, I think this one does that in a really cool little package. I like the way the deduction works here. I'm trying to think of like how much replayability it has, because it is obviously the same game over and over again. It comes down to right. It comes down to if you like doing that type of deduction over and
Right.
over and over again, right? And that's not going to be for everyone. Obviously, I do like that. So yeah, good job guys, you know what kind of games I like. They're basically like best friends with me.
Sure.
Yeah,
you know,
basically.
And they probably heard me say sometime in the past that I
Right.
like deduction games, and they were and Conclusio, and they're like,
Right.
What's weird though is
Taking
this
notes.
has some push your luck, Dan. Like how long you're gonna wait to guess.
Yeah, I guess like any deduction.
I'm fishing
Sure.
for a mechanic you
Sure.
don't like. And, like
Trying to make
you
you
like
as
games-
inconsistent as Tim.
Yeah.
But no, I mean obviously just like anything, that tension does ramp up once someone starts guessing.
getting close to
the
guessing.
last
Oh,
3 rounds for me were guessing.
Yeah.
It was did it okay, not that combination, did it not that combination. That narrows it down to these 2 combinations.
Yeah, and it was like
and
miss, and then it was like ding, ding, like miss,
Yeah.
and then it was like ding, 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 and I dang it.
yeah, and so that once
Ding, ding,
once
ding.
I start guessing,
Yeah.
like when I
Ding,
guess
ding.
once, it's like, oh, he might be trying to narrow stuff down. He might just be. Once you guess twice in a row, it's like he's close. I have to start putting stuff together fast, and then that pushing your not luck, but like
Right.
that intensity really rises up of
Right.
like, oh god, what am I
Well,
missing?
in
What
the
do I need to
first
put
game
together?
we played, I legitimately guessed probably a turn early, wrongly because I was pushing it because I wanted it. I thought
You knew
Bob.
Bob was gonna.
I felt like
yeah.
Bob was gonna get it, and so I was like, "Crap, I got it." Did you win both games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I know.
Damn it. No, but right on, man. Yeah, you're right,
I mean, that's it. Next.
Bobby.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I like deduction games. Man, that secret information you have with the 2 cards behind the screen
Oh, it's-
can really throw things off. Like,
love
it's-
it. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's very cool. I'm anxious to try it with more people because there'll be a lot more information out there for. I mean, like, although
Better note taking.
well, the better note
necessary.
taking, yeah, but it will add more suits because depending on how many people you play with, you'll add in whole new like suits of cards. So while you have more information, there's a larger pool to choose from as well. But yeah, it was a bunch of fun. Like for something short and quick, because I used to play Cool out with my nieces, so that kind of scratches that itch without having to like have a full board and
Right.
move and roll the die and spend so long trying to get to one room or another. You can just ask,
Right.
You know, and then the fact that they divide everything into 2 subcategories. So yeah, it's the who done it, but is it male or female? There's the where. Was it inside or outside? It was with a weapon. Well, was it up close or was it a ranged weapon? So like I like how they delineate and between those 2 and the tokens are fine.
Yeah.
I might get
Yeah,
some.
yeah. I like that this system is like, oh, Dan's been having to give out a lot of information this turn. He's going to
More
get a lot of
clues.
information
Exactly.
this turn. That's
Right.
that's a cool
It's a nice little
Right.
like catch-up
yeah, it's not
mechanic,
catch up,
but it's more like
kind of a balancing
compensation
mechanic. Yeah, I don't know.
But no, that was
it's a
good.
positive. I don't know how to
Correct.
describe it, but it's a
it was
positive.
good. But it's good. A thumbs up. That was it. All right.
Yeah, no, I agree with everything you guys said. I think this is a lot of fun. I was very pleasantly surprised because when we got this game in, DV sent us this game. We were not paid, but they did send us this game to review. But when it came in, I looked at it and I'm like, this might be too kiddie for the group.
Oh.
No.
But I brought it because it was short. Like if we had time, let's we could just do play it and review it and stuff. And I was really surprised with, like, I could play this with Mallory, right?
Yeah.
She's 11. I could play this with her, and she would, I feel like, be competitive, right? Or at least maybe not the first game, but after
Sure.
a couple games, she could really start to key in on it because she does like Clue.
Right. It does say 8. Do you think like Clark would be able to handle it?
I think Clark's like a little young for it. I
Okay.
just don't know that he would be patient enough to stick around to the end.
Now, it does say it caps at 99. Do you think your great grandmother could appreciate this game?
Well, we'll just have to bump her off at
All right.
after,
well,
at
sorry.
100.
She's out.
She's out.
Yeah,
Sorry, out
right.
of the group.
Sorry, Nana.
You have to play it on her birthday, and then like the second the time clicks to the time that she was born, you'd be like, get
You're
off.
done. You're done.
Yeah, I get to see her clues now.
Yeah.
You're out of the group.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, this game is very accessible, but also very satisfying to play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
I really want to make that clear that because like you were saying with like, is it too kiddie? Same thing with like when we open it up and like Bob and I were going through the rule book and I was like, so it's Clue,
Right.
Like and I was just like, and then we played it and it's not. There's
No.
more going
It's,
on.
More
there.
going
it's
on.
so
With
much
less
more.
going on.
It's so much more like it's so much more like Conclusio, which is a game we all love.
Yeah.
True.
But this is almost just like another variation of that, which, and this one actually might be a little more accessible, not only for people to just find it at their board game store,
Right.
but like, I think Conclusio can be kind of intimidating because it's like color, shape, number.
The puzzle
you know.
that you're trying to solve in Conclusio is deeper than people think it is. The
Right.
way you're looking at all the cards out and mathing, it's a light game. But I'm just saying, I actually do think I agree this one's more accessible, especially because what I was going to say that goes on that is I actually think this might be my #1 pick now for like Clue next step game.
Right.
Oh, your family really like, you try to
guys like
find those.
Clue?
You try to
Right.
find the Uno next step, the Monopoly next step. I think this is a fantastic next step Clue game.
Yeah.
It's so similar, but it makes you go, oh, like it has that interesting new factor to
and,
it.
and this also, right? This fits in a bunch of categories. Okay, so it's gateway game, right? It's a
Family way.
it's family weight game. It's we're a game night. We think we're gonna have 8 people, but only 5 of us are here, so we're got to do something. It's like, well, this plays up to 6.
Right.
I mean, we can all play this game, and if those 2 people show up,
They're only waiting 10 minutes.
they're
for us
waiting
to-
10 minutes, and then it's like, and then
Should've
set
been
up
around
and tear
time.
down super fast.
Yeah. There's almost no setup.
And
So-
with all that family weight stuff you're saying too, the decisions are interesting though.
Yeah.
Right.
You are sitting there and you are
Yeah, you're like,
really,
man, so if I asked
you are
them how
really
many of this
listening to what other people
color-
are saying, and like I'm putting question marks and X's
Right.
and circles and letters on the cards and stuff. Like there's real decisions happening here, I think, right? And so yeah, that's a really good mixture.
Yeah, this just hits or checks so many boxes, right? Or fits into so many little niches that I think that like
gonna
this is
win.
this is one, this is one that would fit in most people's game collections. You know what I mean? Unless you're just like, I only play Vital Lacerda games.
Yeah,
You know what
sorry,
I mean?
Bob.
And you don't only.
I don't
play
only,
those.
but I do enjoy.
Of course.
Well, sure, I do too. But I'm just
Yeah.
like this just checks and fits into so many different categories.
Right.
And yeah, it just does a lot of things right. I had no complaints or criticisms of the game or the gameplay itself. Like I just found it all very satisfying and a lot of fun.
Sure. I mean, the only thing for me, it's not even a complaint. It's just that, like, if I'm picking a deduction game, I usually want a bit of a deeper one.
Oh,
This
sure.
one's a little lighter than, like,
Search for Planet X.
Planet X. So I would prefer that.
Sure.
But I have no negatives for this.
Yeah.
Right. But then again, this you could play 2 or 3 games of this in the time it would take you to play.
Correct.
Search for
And
Planet
with
X.
more people.
And with
like,
more,
not literally player count wise, but I'm saying, like, more accessible, like
Yeah.
you guys were saying. So,
Yep.
Yeah. Because you take this to a meetup, it's getting played.
Yeah.
Oh, you just got here. Let's sit down. We can play this. So yeah, no, it's great. It's really great.
Yeah, for the theme of Search for Planet X, you're like, okay, well, the sun rotates, and you're looking into space, and you're trying to figure out. And for the theme, they're like, what's the theme of
There's
this?
meteors.
And you go, Clue.
All right.
That's
You
the
can
theme.
play a game of this in the time it takes to teach Planet X. And that's not a dig on Planet X.
Probably. The app helps a lot, but probably.
The app does
Yeah.
help, but the complexity of that game is
lot
here
more.
and the complexity here.
Sure.
But still, like you said, interesting decisions
Interesting decisions.
and tough
And good deduction.
questions. Okay, so let's go into our final score.
Daniel.
How does that work?
Hi. So we're each gonna give the game a rating from 7 to 10, and
It ain't gonna be lower than a 7.
it's usually 1 to 10, of course, with 0.5s because that gives more variability to all of our scores, and it makes rounding more interesting because at the end we're all gonna average them together so that we have one score that we type into BGG and stuff. So that if you want to know about what Board Game Rundown rated something, it's different than necessarily what Bob rated something because we are a team. Go on, Tim.
Yeah, even if we don't agree. So yeah. So Dan, what would you rate 13 clues?
You might actually think it's low, but I'm going to give it a 7.5. A totally good score here. I really like the game. I would recommend it. I want to play it more, honestly. I kind of want to take this home and play it with my family immediately.
Right.
I
Yeah.
can't. So 7.5 just because, like I said, if it was like a little chunkier, that bumps it up for me. Like I think Planet X is around an 8 or 8.5. Like, I really like deduction. It's gonna be in that higher tier for me. But for now, I also think with more plays it'll probably go up. But for now, this is a 7.5 for me.
Right on. Bobby, what you got?
I'd like to give it an 8.5, but with just that whole color system and me having that issue, like I know it's written on the paper, and I probably could have paid a little caution.
Yeah, it is written on the paper.
But I mean, like, but they could have put something else on there, right, on the card itself to
Sure, like
show
a
that it's
Y
like an
or an
actual
O
suit
or a
you know what I
Right.
mean?
We also
Yeah,
talked about
a
it
shape,
recently. Some games just have like
circles,
a little
triangles,
G
squares
for green.
or
a
yeah,
little
or a
yellow,
letter on
or
there.
a
That would
little
have been
yellow.
helpful. But I'm gonna settle on an 8, you know, because I did really enjoy it. It's one of those games that we've played it. We're like, let's play it again. And
Yeah.
we just reset it real quick, played it again, and to me that's a sign of a good game. But yeah, this is definitely one that I think I would like to try to keep, to get on my shelf and take it to meetups and things like that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell. It's
Oh,
like the
if there's
wallpaper
different designs on the
it-
wallpaper.
It's, if
would be
there
too
is,
hard to see.
if there
It's so
is, it
subtle.
is too faint, right?
Right.
But yeah, I was just looking.
Actually,
Anyways,
Yeah,
yeah.
just a little like make take a marker and write in the corner. Like,
Well, you can do that to your copy.
I do that
Yeah.
quite often.
Yeah, no criticism at all. For me, this is an 8.5, just because it fits into so many boxes. You know,
They actually are different.
and the versatility of this for me to get this played,
Right.
like so that does influence my rating of games sometimes, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like it's a ton of fun. I can get this to the table. I could get through a bunch of these sheets, you
Right.
know, like legit. Maybe not all of them, maybe not even half of them, because there's a lot
There's
there.
a lot
Give me
there.
some time.
Yeah, but
Amateur.
But we can. This is I love a game that not only I enjoy, but I can get it to the table easily. People would ask to play it,
Right.
right? Like if we were at a meetup, right? Dan's there, and it's like, well, Dan, there's like 4 of us. What do you want to play? You know, well, we could play
bang out a
13
couple of those real
clues.
quick.
We can bang
What
that out.
deduction game can I talk people into?
Right.
is what I
Right, and you could talk most people into this.
Right.
Most people. I feel the theme is very accessible. So, anyways, Bobby, what's our average?
I'm sorry. You said
8.5.
8.5. Okay.
8.5. Yeah, I gave it
I
8.5.
didn't hear you say it.
Because I just it does so many things right for me. I just-
Yeah. So it sounds like I was
Bob's
right.
right.
It's an 8.
Well done, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is great. This is, I mean, we all had a great time
Yeah,
playing
solid.
it. Super fun.
Solid outing.
I'm really glad that we gave it a shot
Yeah, these things are cool.
because this would have been a game that would have been very easy for us to dismiss.
Overlook. Yep.
You know, and just be like, nah, I don't know. But yeah, this is almost one that I have a feeling would be like an underrated game. If we go like underrated games this year, you know, like later on in the year, we
Right.
do a list like that. You'd be like, guys, here's a game nobody's heard of, or
Right.
you should know about that you don't know about. So I really hope to
point.
see this take off and do some stuff because I just think this game deserves some attention for what it is. And I can't imagine, I don't know what the price point is on it, but I can't imagine it's that much.
Nah.
So I feel like there's a lot of value in here, right? Your price per play is going to be, 0.
Right.
After a while, because I just think if your family likes Clue or your group likes any kind of deduction,
Yeah, I don't know what the MSRP is on it, but the small box, can't imagine it being too crazy.
yeah,
Right. And they're going to be shooting for a certain audience.
Right.
So
also true.
Yep.
Also true. So very accessible. Awesome game. Great job. Like I said, we're not getting paid for this. They did send us a copy for review. For that, we're always grateful. But yeah,
does not influence us.
no, we give bad reviews to free games
Yeah.
all the time. All the
We
time.
appreciate it.
But we owe it to you guys. So for the board game rundown, I've been Tim.
Bob.
Dan,
The nurse in the library with the blowgun.
wrong again, Tim.
Wrong again.
Son of a
Tim.
gun. Thanks for watching.